Ladies and gentlemen, today is March 19th, 2026. Welcome to Uncle Joe's Yuhua Show. Let me tell you something. Today's most dramatic story is not coming from a battlefield. It is coming from a football pitch. FIFA's World Cup was supposed to be humanity's great sanctuary, that sacred quadrennial truce where nations agree, at least for 90 minutes at a time, to settle their differences with a referee and a ball rather than missiles and sanctions. And yet here we are, the 2026 World Cup, co-hosted by the United States, Mexico, and Canada, has become the most geopolitically combustible sporting event since the Cold War Olympics, and the tournament has not even kicked off yet. Iran's national football team, these men who swept through the Asian qualifying rounds and were among the very first nations to secure a place at this summer's tournament, now face a situation almost too absurd for satire. They earned their ticket fair and square. They may not be allowed to use it. President Trump posted on Truth Social that Iran's team was welcome to participate in the World Cup. Then, in the same breath, he added that he really did not think it was appropriate for them to come for their own life and safety. Now I ask you, does that sound like a welcome, or does it sound like a host inviting a guest to dinner, then whispering across the table, "Careful with the soup, it might not agree with you"? There is a certain art to simultaneously extending and withdrawing an invitation. Not everyone masters it. This one came with a presidential seal. Iran's Football Federation chief fired back. They would boycott the United States, but not the World Cup. He demanded FIFA relocate Iran's group stage matches from Los Angeles and Seattle to Mexico instead. FIFA said no. Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum said, "Absolutely, we are open to it." And Trump, pressed for clarification, said, "I don't really care." Ladies and gentlemen, football diplomacy has become more entertaining than actual diplomacy. FIFA, meanwhile, is clinging to its December schedule with the quiet desperation of a man holding an umbrella in a hurricane. All of this brings to mind one of history's most instructive cautionary tales about the dangers of a careless outburst. England's King Henry II was a powerful, brilliant, and famously short-tempered ruler of the 12th century. His Archbishop, Thomas Becket, had been his closest friend and became his most infuriating enemy. One day, driven to the absolute limit of his patience, Henry blurted in fury, "Will no one rid me of this turbulent priest?" He did not issue a formal command. He was venting. He wanted sympathy, not a corpse. 4 knights heard the words, rode to Canterbury Cathedral, and murdered Becket at the altar.